The town of Pine Brook was surrounded by dense forests, their tall pines casting long shadows that seemed to swallow the light. The residents enjoyed the tranquility and natural beauty of their surroundings, but they also knew to stay away from the northern woods. It was said that something sinister lurked among the trees, a clown named Whisper. Whisper's legend was one of dread. Years ago, he had been a performer at a traveling circus that passed through Pine Brook. Known for his silent acts and eerie mime routines, Whisper captivated audiences without uttering a single word. One fateful night, he ventured into the northern woods and was never seen again. Since then, locals whispered of sightings. A clown wandering the forest, his silence more terrifying than any scream. One crisp October night, 3 friends, Megan, Tyler, and Ben, decided to test the legend. It was their last Halloween before graduating high school, and they were eager for an adventure. Armed with flashlights and a sense of bravado, they set off toward the northern woods, laughing and joking to mask their underlying fear. The forest was silent, save for the crunching of leaves beneath their feet. The further they walked, the thicker the trees became, blocking out the moonlight and casting the woods in darkness. "Are we sure about this?" Megan asked, her voice wavering. "Come on, it's just a story," Tyler replied, though his grip on the flashlight tightened. Ben, the most adventurous of the group, led the way. "Let's just get to the clearing and take a look around. Then we can go back and say we did it." They continued deeper into the woods, their laughter fading into uneasy silence. After what felt like hours, they reached a small clearing bathed in the pale light of the moon. The air was cold, and an unsettling stillness hung over the place. "Okay, we're here," Ben said. "Let's take a quick look around," and his sentence was cut short by a sudden flicker of movement at the edge of the clearing. The friends turned their flashlights in unison, illuminating a figure standing just beyond the tree line. It was Whisper. He stood motionless, his white face paint stark against the darkness. His mouth was painted in a thin, eerie smile, and his eyes were deep, hollow voids. He wore a faded clown costume, and his gloved hands held a balloon. Despite the distance, the friends could see his chest rise and fall with silent, labored breaths. Tyler swallowed hard. "We should go, now." But before they could move, Whisper raised a hand and waved slowly, beckoning them. The balloon in his other hand began to float towards them, seemingly moving on its own. Paralyzed with fear, the friends watched as the balloon drifted closer. When it reached the center of the clearing, it stopped and hung in the air, swaying gently. Megan's voice broke the silence. "We have to leave. This isn't right." Ben, however, took a step forward. "Maybe it's just a trick. There has to be an explanation." He reached out to touch the balloon, but the moment his fingers brushed its surface, Whisper vanished from the tree line and reappeared directly in front of them. His smile widened, revealing sharp, blackened teeth. The friends screamed and turned to run, but Whisper was faster. He moved without sound, his steps silent as he chased them through the forest. The trees seemed to close in around them, their branches clawing at their clothes and skin. They ran blindly, their flashlights flickering and dying. In the pitch black, they could hear Whisper's breath close behind them, feel his presence growing ever nearer. Finally, they burst out of the woods and into the safety of Tyler's backyard. They collapsed onto the grass, gasping for breath. Whisper was nowhere to be seen, but the terror of their encounter lingered. The next morning, they returned to the woods with the local sheriff, determined to find some trace of Whisper. But the forest was calm and empty, showing no signs of the night's horrors. The sheriff dismissed their tale as a Halloween prank gone too far, but the friends knew what they had seen. From that day on, they avoided the northern woods, and the story of Whisper became a cautionary tale for the town's children. On cold, silent nights, the people of Pine Brook sometimes heard faint, echoing breaths carried on the wind. And they knew that Whisper was still out there, waiting in the shadows for his next unsuspecting visitor.